Hi everyone, my name is Mina from the Formula Funding section here at OCTA. Today we'll be covering an overview of the FTIP program and process, particularly related to the 2025 FTIP adoption. We'll be going over some informational items related to the FTIP, as well as the different responsibilities that certain agencies have in the FTIP process. You may be familiar with the FTIP process and database already, but to clarify, the FTIP is a program of transportation projects that are federally or state funded or considered regionally significant. All the projects in the FTIP are consistent with SCAG's approved Regional Transportation Plan/Sustainable Community Strategy. The Regional Transportation Plan, or RTP, is a long-range plan that provides a vision for transportation investment throughout the region. The most recent RTP was approved in May 2020 called Connect SoCal. This plan is developed and updated by SCAG every 4 years in order for our region's transportation projects to qualify for federal and state funding. One question that comes up a lot is what defines a project that is considered regionally significant? This list is provided as a definition by SCAG in the 2025 FTIP guidelines. The list includes expansions to principal or major arterials, which are defined as an 8-lane divided roadway for principal arterial classifications and a 6-lane divided roadway for major arterial classifications. It also includes routes that provides access to regional shopping centers, amusement parks, transit centers, rail stations, and airports. Additionally, projects in the FTIP are required to be fully funded. This means that the FTIP sheet includes only approved funds for which backup documentation can be provided, not funds that are tentative or proposed. And as previously mentioned, projects should be consistent with the SCAG approved RTP. Just a note, FTIP programming is required for authorization to proceed process and for CTC allocation approval. The three main groups that participate in the FTIP process are local agencies, OCTA, and SCAG. SCAG is the Metropolitan Planning Organization, which includes 6 counties in Southern California: Orange, LA, Ventura, San Bernardino, Riverside, and Imperial. Some of the tasks that local agencies are responsible for are submitting and updating projects in the FTIP, ensuring compliance with FTIP guidelines and TCM requirements, ensuring that projects are fully funded, and providing documentation authorizing funding for projects. OCTA is responsible for administering the FTIP at the county level. OCTA staff also goes through the same process of programming funds for OCTA-led projects. And OCTA is responsible for reviewing projects submitted by local agencies before they are submitted to SCAG for approval. OCTA also administers the FTIP submittals for group project listing, including Complete Streets, the Active Transportation Program, Bicycle Corridor Improvement Program, and the Highway Bridge Program. SCAG is responsible for maintaining the regional FTIP database. Once OCTA sends the final submittal to SCAG, they'll review the project for the whole region, ensure compliance, and prepare for the submittal for review at the federal level by the Federal Highway Administration and the Federal Transit Administration. SCAG also prepares group project listing, including the state ATP program, Highway Safety Improvement Program, and Safe Routes to School program. Performance metrics are a requirement for all FTIP projects in the system. You can update these in the OCFundtracker database and basically indicate the improvement your project is having across the different metrics. If your project just consists of a study, then these metrics are not required. This also only applies to active projects. Additionally, Mapping has been identified by SCAG as a goal for every project. It is not a requirement at the moment, but may become one in the future. Equity is a new requirement for all FTIP projects in the database. For this section, SCAG will assess project locations in proximity to underserved areas. The equity fields will be added to the database later this year. Once incorporated, a follow-up may be necessary. This slide contains a screenshot of a City Council resolution template. City Council resolutions are required for projects to be included in the FTIP. This includes any future projects that may need to be entered in the 2025 FTIP through an amendment. These resolutions are due to OCTA by November 30th, 2023. Here's the general process of a base FTIP submittal. After local agencies submit projects to OCTA, they are reviewed and then submitted to SCAB for approval. After SCAB reviews the approved program, there is a 30-day public review period. The FTIP is then adopted at the state level and is turned into federal agencies for final approval. Here is the tentative 2025 FTIP adoption schedule. Projects being carried over must be submitted by October 9th, but the new 2025 FTIP cycle will not be approved until December 2024. This means that there will be two concurrent FTIP cycles occurring, the 2023 cycle and the carryover and approval of 2025 cycle. Amendments should still be carried out and submitted to a CTA while the carryover process is occurring. The next two slides are a list of common problems that we see with agencies using the OCFundtracker and solutions on how to fix them. There is an FTIP tutorial and amendment guide on the FTIP website that will provide detailed information about how to use the system, which will help agencies avoid these problems. The FTIP includes complete streets, active transportation projects, and bicycle corridor improvement projects, many of which are city-led. For most of these projects, OCTA will roll them into a group project listing, which your CTA enters into the FTIP with the information provided by the local agencies. If a complete streets, ATP, or BICP project is a TCM, then the project requires its own FTIP sheet, which local agencies are responsible for managing and providing backup documentation. A TCM is defined as a strategy that reduces transportation-related air pollution, greenhouse gas emission, and fuel use by reducing vehicle miles traveled and improving roadway operations. Bicycle facilities more than a mile or pedestrian facilities more than quarter mile is considered a ATCM and must have its own FTIP sheet. The OCFundtracker is the online database for the FTIP in Orange County and the means by which project revisions are processed. There is a guidebook posted on our website which provides detailed instruction on how to use the database. Thank you for listening to this presentation. Here's the formula funding section's contact information if you have any questions.